What's up, you wascally wabbits? Alright, so I am going to do a video with the Peramillitary 2. If you've seen my other videos, you guys know this is a very highly regarded knife. I'm going to try and go in detail. I might forget because I don't script shit, alright? If I do forget something, you got a question, ask in the comments. If you know anything about me and my channel, I reply to comments. Sometimes I can't. It won't let me. Your comment disappears. I see it, but I can't reply. My bad. Join the Facebook group and get with me there, man. Other than that, I am not the ultimate authority. This is just my personal opinion. Take it or leave it. I could be wrong. You might not agree, but this is just the way I see the world. So let's get started. I'm going to start at the handle, move my way onto the blade. Right off the bat with the Peramillitary 2, you got a little bit more handle. See that? And it does make a difference. I enjoy the ergonomics of the Peramillitary 2. It is very stout. In your hand, it is just a part of you. It is glued on there. If only because of this little hump right here with the jimping, you feel it is not going anywhere, dude. You can stab a motherfucker's eye out with this thing, and it's not, it's not going to get stuck. You can pull it right back out. All right, don't be poking anyone's eye with it. With the Sebenza, it is very smooth. And you do have a little hump there, but it's not nowhere near as good as the Peramillitary 2. So it feels good. It's pretty tight. It's locked in there. It shouldn't go anywhere, but you just feel more confident with the Peramillitary 2. It is just glued to you. All right. So that you got with the Peramillitary 2, you got left or right, up or down tip. You got all these options here. You can change the clip to where, or the pocket clip to wherever you want. You have the option to go nuts. All right, you can put a clip on both sides if you want. Why not? With the Sebenza, you have one option. So as long as you like tip-up carry, you will be fine. Most people do like tip-up carry. I can go either way. I kind of prefer tip down. That is just me. I've been carrying the Sebenza and I have had zero problems, all right? I like the way it feels. So, but you only have the one option. So if that's important to you, if you're left-handed, you're going to have to get a special Sebenza or get yourself a Peramillitary 2 and call it a day, all right? It's a great knife. It goes for, I don't know, the prices range. You can get a regular one, an S30V for like 130, 140 bucks. And then you get the little bit better S110V for like 180 bucks. And then they have the sprint runs with M4 steel or what is the Rex? I don't know, dude. They go crazy with the steels. At the end of the day, though, their steels don't matter all that much, and I will get into why when I start talking about the blade. We're still on the handle, all right? So I've never taken the Peramillitary 2 apart. It looks easy enough. You got the 1, 2 screws, and then your pivot screw. So you got 3 screws all together. I don't know what kind of, I don't know, T6 or T7. Anyways, it looks pretty easy to take apart. I've never had to do it. Never really felt the need to do it. But then again, I don't take it into places where I feel like I should probably take it apart and clean it out. More recently, I took my Sebenza to the beach. I had it in my pocket, got it all salty with salt water, and I didn't bat an eye because I knew I can take it apart, clean it out, grease it up, and sure enough, when I got home, I did that. I enjoy doing that, so it was no big deal to me, and it's pretty easy to take apart. You got your 3 screws here. One's for your stop, your I don't know the name of it. I'm not a knife professional. You probably shouldn't even be listening to me. You got 3 screws. It comes out, and these slabs come apart, and it's pretty easy to take apart. It's a little trickier to get back together, but within a minute or so, you should be able to figure out how the washers go, and you'll be fine. All right, so not a big deal. So ultimately, I think I prefer the handle, the G10 scales. It's very super lightweight and very grippy. With the Sebenza, you got a little bit more heft, but it feels good, man. It feels, I keep saying official. That is the word. That is the official word of the day. Official, man. It just feels like a sheriff badge, a cop badge. It's like a toy gun versus a real gun, man. It is just, you can feel the difference right off the bat. But I think the Peramillitary 2 is a little bit more ergonomic. Yeah, I've been carrying this one for years, and I've never had any complaints or issues. I've been carrying this one for less than a week, and I love it, guys. I really do. But I will say that the Peramillitary 2 handle just seems a little bit better. Is it stronger? Probably not. I mean, it's G10 versus titanium. What are you going to put your money on? If there were a bare knuckle boxing match going on between titanium and G10, I'd probably put my money on the titanium. All right, so with the Chris Reeve titanium, they do a really good job with the chamfering, the beveling, the jimping feels good. It's not too strong. It actually could be a little stronger. It's a little too smooth for me, but it feels good. The jimping on the Peramillitary 2, it started off kind of rough. It hurt a little bit, but after a few weeks, it settled out, and it's really good. You got your finger tool right here, so you're never going to close the knife on your finger, which is awesome. I've done that before. I might even still have the scar for it. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it was down there. Yeah, those are my grody fingernails. So I like the design of the Peramillitary 2 overall. I think it's better designed than the Sebenza, man, at a half cost too, or even less than half. Right, so let's move on to the blade here. No, I guess we could still talk about the lock, right? So the lock in the Sebenza, you got your frame lock. You're going to hear a lot of complaints about it. People, it's not the best lock, and Cold Steel put out a video showing that you could only hold 45 pounds. Dude, I don't know what the fuck you're doing that will require 45 pounds of stress on this, but I can guarantee you it can hold more than that. The Cold Steel testing is just flawed to me in so many levels, and we could have a really good discussion about that if y'all want. Go down in the comments and we can have a grown-up discussion about it. But at the end of the day, no one buys any knife at any price point, takes it home and starts whacking it. Like, yeah, I'm using my knife the way I'm supposed to. Dude, for cutting purposes, you're never going to run into any trouble. All right, even for hard cutting purposes, you're never going to run into. You guys see a little spider running around here? Little spider over there. You'll see him if he pops out again. You shouldn't have any trouble. But at the end of the day, I've had zero trouble with the Peramillitary 2 as well. The lock on the Peramillitary 2, to me, is probably the best lock in the world, man. It is just, your fingers are not anywhere near the blade, right? Yoink, that's it. So the compression lock, I'll show you how that works from this side. The compression lock, you just move it over like that, and then the blade will fall. Your fingers are not in the way. So you deploy it, boom, you cut whatever, slice the motherfucker up, and you put your finger here, boom, and it's right back in your pocket. It's almost, I was joking around with my buddy. I was like, hey man, I could whip out my knife, slice off your nipple, put it right back in my pocket before you even knew what happened. He's like, you really like knives, don't you? So yeah, I do. Hope you like your nipple. So, all right, with the Sebenza, it deploys quickly enough. You can hear it. It's stout, but at the end of the day, I do believe the Peramillitary 2 is a little bit faster. Then you got the Spidey hole, which, like I said, we're going to move on to the blade in a little bit. Lock for lock, I prefer the compression lock, but the titanium frame lock is just fine with me. It's not a big deal. I got used to it within a couple of minutes, so you should have no complaints, really. Overall, so far, if you're keeping score, keeping tabs, the Peramillitary 2 is winning, right? It has better ergonomics, it's lighter, it fits better in the hand, has like better jimping, has a better lock, has a 4-way pocket clip. Man, why am I going to spend so much money on the Sebenza? There's more. Stick around, all right? So let's get on to the blade shape. With the blade shape of the Sebenza, you can sharpen it and you should have no trouble. If anyone has a KME system, a guided system, you already know if you've tried to sharpen a Spyderco knife, towards the end you're going to have trouble. You're going to end up having to get a little diamond rod, and I don't see if you can see that. Okay, I'm going to point with this blade right here. You see that? All right, I had to do that manually so that I can sharpen the edge properly. You really can't do that with the Spyderco. This one, I've learned how to hand sharpen since. So if you know how to hand sharpen, you really shouldn't have any trouble because you can put the stone, start off right here and get all the way. So you shouldn't have any trouble if you hand sharpen, but if you use a guided system, you will run into trouble with the Sebenza. Man, there's cops and trains and everything, dude. I hope you guys, can you hear that? Yeah. All right, I will continue on. With the Sebenza, you should have zero problems, man. You put it on your guided system and you should have no problems because there's nothing back here stopping the stone from traveling all the way. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. I do like on the Spyderco, you got your choil here. Whatever, I think that's a choil. I don't know. You got that. So if you, for some reason, you did have your finger in the way, the knife comes down, it hits your finger here, not on the blade. Like I said, I've had the blade actually come down on my finger, not with the Sebenza, but with the Hogue EX04. I tried to open it, it bounced back actually, and it cut my finger really bad. So I got rid of that bad boy quick, fast, and in a hurry. That has not happened with the Sebenza, if only because of the detent. You guys see the smooth closing. I need coffee, guys, and water. All right, so it closes. It doesn't fall. It closes like a hydraulic. All right, so that's really nice. I like that, even though with the Peramillitary 2, you don't really need it because it's a quick deploy, quick resheath. Right, so your fingers are not in the way, so it doesn't need to be hydraulic smooth. It just needs to fall actually, and it kind of is a little bit of detent in there. All right, so it's not a big deal. It's take it or leave it, whatever you prefer. At the end of the day, so far the Peramillitary 2 is running circles around Sebenza, and you know what? That should be no surprise. The Peramillitary 2 is a legend knife, guys. It's a wonderful knife. It's popular for a reason. All right, so the Sebenza has just a teensy I don't know, just a little bit more blade. I think it's a little bit more comparable to, so I can get it on camera. I have to try and get it to focus. It's a little bit more comparable to the 4-inch military. They're really close as far as usable edge-wise. So you get a little bit more blade with the Sebenza, but it's not, I don't know, I've never wanted or needed more blade with my Peramillitary 2. So what I'm trying to tell you is you can easily get a fantastic knife at less than half the price of a Chris Reeve knife. Now, we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of why Chris Reeve knives have such a high demand, right? So with spyderco, they use all these fancy steels, but then they burn up their edges when they send them out. So when you go to sharpen, or when you use these knives, they'll start chipping on you, and you'll think, man, this metal sucks. And that's what I thought with the S110V, and that's actually a really, really, really good steel. Problem is, the way spyderco sends out their knives, they burn the edges. I guess they're using sandpaper, or I don't know what they're using, a sand belt to sharpen their knives, and it leaves their edges scarred up, man. It's just super burnt out, so they'll chip. So you really got to sharpen past that, and that really sucks. You don't really get that with the Chris Reeve knife. It is sharpened, it is hardened, heat treated well, and it's sharpened well, and there should be no chipping. But if there is, they have a fantastic warranty, guys. They have great customer service. It is top notch. Now, I've never had to use or even call spyderco for any reason. I did call Chris Reeve to try and find a knife with a specific date. They were awesome, super accommodating. The lady took 10 minutes to go search for a date like last year. All right, that's awesome. So customer service wise, Chris Reeve really has that down, and I think that really helps with their following, and that's why they have such a huge following. The Peramillitary 2 has been one of my favorite knives forever, right? And I swore I would not get into Chris Reeve, but I did, and I like what I found. All right, I enjoy this knife, even though I literally just ran circles with this Peramillitary 2. Now, for hard use, I actually think this Sebenza would run circles around the Peramillitary 2. If you guys want to see a video of some good, chopping, whatever, you guys give me some ideas, and we'll think about doing that. But at the end of the day, I feel like the Peramillitary 2 would not be able to hold up to some torture. And I've seen some torture videos when it held up pretty good. So I don't know. It doesn't feel like it can, but I've seen it done. So with the Sebenza, it just feels like it can tackle anything, man. It just feels so well made. The material's nice and strong, official. We're using the word of the day. It feels official. All right, so is it worth, what is it? Let's just round up the Peramillitary 2 for around $200 with tax. The Sebenza around $450. Is it worth $250 more to get a Sebenza? Probably not, guys. You can get a Peramillitary 2, enjoy for the rest of your life, I'm sure, pretty damn close, and you should be fine. You should have no trouble, as long as you're using a knife as a knife, right? Don't try to use a knife as a, pry bar or whatever, as a throwing knife. It's a pocket knife, and if you keep that in mind, then you really shouldn't have any trouble, keeping your Peramillitary 2 or your military or whatever spyderco, whatever Benchmade knife you get. It doesn't have to be a Sebenza. There's no particular reason to get a Chris Reeve knife unless you really want one. There, you hit a point of diminishing returns with the Chris Reeve knife, you really buy into the crowd, the group, the community. The Facebook community has been awesome. A guy offered me a the hawk clip. I said, guys, this Sebenza, it's hurting my hand immediately because I got little baby bitch hands. Baby bitch hands. I have no callus on my hands. I've noticed that. So some guy came in and said, I don't want to say some guy because he was so nice. I believe his name is Matt. I cannot think of his last name. I'm sorry, Matt. I'm sorry. But he came in and said, dude, I got this pocket clip. I will send it to you come Monday. Just give me your address. Dude, this clip is $50, guys. That is awesome. That is just, it blew my mind how generous, and the whole community is it's just off the hook, man. Join the Facebook group because you get some good deals, some great guys, they've answered so many of my questions. I've been all over the place asking all sorts of questions, guys. I've been going nuts trying to figure out what the hell I want because I'm crazy like that, all right? That's why I made so many headphone videos because I couldn't make up my goddamn mind. I bought into the group. I like that Tim Reeve is active in the group. With Spyderco, I don't like that they burn their edges. There's a few things that kind of bother me. The tip is just a little too thin for the Peramillitary 2, even though I have had no trouble. It just seems like if I really had to count on it, I might run into some trouble. I've seen broken tips on the Peramillitary 2, so I'd hate to put my life, on that knife. Whereas the Sebenza or even the Umnumzam, I don't know, I'm probably saying that wrong. You got a knife that you could probably depend your life on if it came down to it. Zombie apocalypse breaks out, guys. That's how I make all my purchasing decisions, based on the upcoming zombie apocalypse. It will happen. It's gonna happen. All right. So when that breaks out and you need a good knife, beside you to save your life, yeah, I'm thinking you really should have a Chris Reeve or even a Medford. That's a zombie killing knife right there, buddy. So I want a good quality knife. I want to not worry about it ever again. So 30 years from now, I want to look down my pocket like, buddy, you've been with me forever. Having a little drink of some Jack and Coke and just looking at my knife like, man, we've been through some shit, haven't we? We've been through some shit. And I don't feel like the Peramillitary 2 will meet me there, even though I could absolutely be wrong. Again, guys, I love this knife, all right? I love this knife. I recommend this knife. But I'm a Chris Reeve guy now. What can I say? At the end of the day, I'm better. I'm a better person, When you see me and you notice that I'm having my Chris Reeve knife in my pocket, you really should bow down. No. It's not you don't need it. I wanted it. I wanted to spoil myself, and I did. And that was like, I'm just going to have the one. And I actually ended up with two. I just couldn't make up my mind. So now I'm like looking at that in cozy, like maybe I should get that one too. I'm never going to be happy. But I can tell you right now that I am a Chris Reeve fan. I like the community. I like what they do. I like their build quality. I like their knives. They perform well. They feel well. They are very well made. And you're just, you could spend more money and get less of a knife. To be honest with you guys, I know that sticker shock is just crazy, but I promise you, once you get past that sticker shock, once you buy one, it'll seem like nothing. Because when you buy something really good, it just seems like nothing afterwards. You realize it's like, wow, this is really good, and I'm glad I bought it. Whereas I would have spent $200 on something that's okay, and I don't know, that they don't lose their resale value very much. I don't even think I could sell my Peramillitary 2. You guys want it? Contact me. Both knives are great. Whichever knife you end up with, you will be happy. If you want a Sebenza or a Chris Reeve knife, you're not going to be happy with anything else. Grab it. Just get over the stick, put it on a credit card and pay it off slowly. What do you want? Pay it off $50 a month, you'll have it, right? So you're going to get something else to try to fill that void, and it's just not going to happen, dude. Trust me. I went through the shit you're going through right now. Just get you a Sebenza, call it a day. All right. Well, should I get the 31 or the 21? Dude, the 21 is a beautiful, wonderful, excellent knife. Trust me, when the 31 was announced, the 21 did not lose anything. All right. In fact, you're actually losing that wonderful Sebenza sound. That thick. I just love that sound. That's even better than the damn Switchblade. All right, so the 31, I believe, is losing that because of the lock. I don't know. Maybe they figured out something. I haven't had a chance to play with it. Point is, Spyderco military or paramilitary 2 versus the Sebenza, which I would get the Sebenza, but you're not going to go wrong with the paramilitary 2. It's going to serve you. If you're a knife guy, if you really love knives, if you just love having it's your partner, and you're into good quality, you want it to last forever, just, pony up the extra money, grab yourself a Sebenza, call it a day. You got an excellent knife. All right. You're going to love it. Most people will love it. I'm not going to promise anything because there is a few people out there that will buy it just to hate it. I don't understand. I don't get that. You people are nuts. All right. So I will catch you on the next video, guys. If I missed anything, if you have any questions, concerns, get down in the comments and let me know. I will be happy to answer anything you guys need me to answer. Other than that, think about going to the Chris Reeve Facebook group. All right. It's not my group. I don't control any of it, but it's a great group, great community, and you're liable to find some pretty good deals on there. So, all right, guys, remember to pay it forward, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.